for the first time nikajiona kwa news. That 1 p.m. news on that day. Yes. Inaanza hapo inasema EABL have a marketing nightmare. But he said, if you're unsure, I know these two people had a killer set. So it was me and DJ Tibbs. Then Joe was number 3. So
they tell Joe you are number 3.
They tell Joe you are number 3. But they say, you two, we have to decide. So you have to go for another round.
Yeah, you planned with your person.
Yeah. But me, I'm ready. Yeah. Me, I know I'm ready. And then I go and I attack myself.
Were you fast this time?
Yes, I was fast. Then Tibbs finished. But the biggest advantage was I was prepared for 3 sets.
You were prepared for 4?
I knew that one was coming. Yes. I could tell. But that was my winning arrow, is I was over-prepared.
Okay, you get that's a lesson and a 3.
Man. Richie.
So now it's night and day. It's clear.
It's night and day. In fact, after Tibbs finished like this, it was Krowbar. It was guy.
You call this together.
Now, there was a guy there, and he died, man. God rest his soul in peace. His name was Daniel Angima. Daniel Angima was the then brand manager for Pilsner. I remember they brought the news to him that this gospel DJ has won. But you understand what is about to happen to you. Do you know what Dan told them? Dan told them, and this I later on got to learn from Dan because we ended up becoming friends way later on. Maybe I'll give you more context as we continue. Dan told them, were we looking for the best DJ in the country? Then they said yes. Is he the best DJ in the country? Yes. For the sake of the brand, we will give the best DJ in the country. He is the Mfalme. And I went like, what? He knew this would cost him a lot. He knew the nightmare that was coming. I am sure he could sense it. And I was declared winner that night.
I remember. And it was after midnight.
It was around 3 a.m.
It was late.
It was late.
Because those messages. So let me, let's rewind a bit. So, set 1, I've understood.
Yes.
The 3 of you guys go.
Yes.
Set 2, Jomo Family Stools.
Yes.
There.
Yes.
Sewa really.
Yes.
Set 3.
Yes.
It leaves no question to doubt. From a skill perspective,
because
was. You were so prepared.
Yes.
The other DJ wasn't as prepared.
He had a good set. It was not a bad set, but it's just that mine was so much better.
It was, and it left no doubt. If you had doubt, it was. If they gave it to him, they knew.
They knew it couldn't work. They knew.
So now they go into deliberations.
They go. They eventually decide. Dan Angima was the nail.
The judges are like us, we know who's won, but because we know he plays gospel and whatever, let's just tell it to you from us.
Yes.
We will announce then who you say.
Yes.
So Dan says,
give it to him.
Okay.
So I'm given. Man, I can't believe this. My main motivation for entering Mfalme was so that I could have my own DJ equipment. Everything else was a plus. Everything else was a plus. When you get, I did not enter there to win a car, to win that sound system. I just wanted DJ gear and I would be okay. But God ni nani. That was the path he chose for me.
What happens now when you win? How are you feeling?
After I won,
your mom is there.
My mom is there.
Mama Karanja?
My relatives, Mama Karanja, they are all like, what is going on? Even them, they're just praising. Remembering the day we were in the mountains praying. I remember after that, when I got a moment like this, I called Missy. And I told her, hey, niache.
That same night?
That night at around 3 or 4 a.m. She was still in the bus going to Mombasa. I called her. Said, hey, niache, poa. I have won. And she said, Jesus. It was as if technically she's like, I want him to win, but I don't want it to him. You know, it's because it's now the ball game has changed.
Yeah.
It was completely different. And so I remember that it was on a Saturday. I did not even sleep. I went to Waroko. After Waroko, I took a shower. The following morning, I went to church. I just couldn't believe it. Guys in church were like, we heard what happened yesterday. But the church is also confused on how to handle this matter. They're like, do we celebrate him on platform or do we just celebrate him quietly? So they chose to celebrate me quietly, which I totally understand. It's a confusing situation to be in.
Yes.
Because you don't know how the congregation will interpret that. You know, for the first time, nikajiona kwa news. That 1 p.m. news on that day, yes, inaanza hapo inasema EABL have a marketing nightmare.
That's what they start.
That's what they start. It's a marketing nightmare.
That's how the presenter started.
Yes. I remember those words clearly. East Africa breweries have a marketing nightmare because a gospel DJ has won a beer sponsored. It was crazy for them. You see, at the end of the day, when you look at it from a marketing perspective, branding is branding.
No, branding is branding.
Branding, yes.
And remember, I keep saying, this was before the takeover of gospel.
This was way before the takeover. It was the climbing. The beginning.
This was the beginning of the takeover of gospel.
Yes.
You get Groove. I think Groove from Groove Awards for me is the point where we can see the gospel takeover happen.
Yes.
Because awards had never been done.
Yes.
So when you went home, did you go home with a van that day?
No.
Okay, so now they have to start engaging you.
So now from there, I've won. Sundays like that. Then I remember there was a New Year's event. See, this was 28th of December, 29th, 30th, 31st. I know there was an end of year event,
yes,
which was by Kubamba at TSO, which I played.
Was it the one at Nairobi Chapel?
No, it was the one
Parklands.
at Parklands.
Yes.
That's the one I played. And now that one was like, we want to see that DJ now. You know, now I've been on the news everywhere. So that night they were all waiting to see this gospel DJ who won. And most blessed me with a perfect prime time set. Said between 10:30 and 11 you're throwing a set. And we had a blast.
I remember that.
We had a blast. We had a good time.
Yeah.
I was so happy. I remember New Year came, and then a few days later after that.
Now we're in 2009.
Now we're in 2009. But something I haven't told you. Every single night, I was not texting Joy every night, but I just wanted to assure her. Sijakuacha. Because I just wanted her assurance. My mind is still waiting. It is. So I make sure that part is covered. And then the following week, we have a meeting at EABL. Okay?
New Year's.
A week after New Year's.
Okay, yes.
There was a meeting at EABL now because they now have a problem. And I remember, this is where now my dad comes in. Because I told him, Sasa, I need someone to take me. And I call my dad and I tell him, I have this meeting at EABL and I want you to take me. My dad says, okay, I'll take you. My dad appears once sporadically, but when he appears, it's needed. And so he comes and we go for that meeting with him. And we sit there. And I remember when they were pitching, they said, we have a Pilsner Mfalme tour ahead of us. That was planned for this. It was not marketed, but it was planned for. And now, we have a dilemma. You play gospel and we sell alcohol. And those two things don't go hand in hand. So we are going to give you two options. Option number one, if you decide right now, we will give you this contract, but you'll have to play secular music. And you'll keep all the money in this contract. If not, we will call number 2 and 3 to do this tour with you, and then we'll split that money 3 ways. Me, I was done. Me, I just told them, guys, God has brought me this far. God has brought me this far. I am not letting him go. Whatever happens, happens. I am not letting him go. And I remember my dad looked at me and he was a bit confused because my dad is not saved. And then I said, can we talk outside? Hey, let's go. And then my dad said, are you okay with this decision? And I said, me, Dad, I'm okay. God has brought us this far. I am not letting go of him. I'm like, all right, I'll back you. Let's go back. And we went in and said, what's your position? And said, whatever the boy has said is his final position. That is his final position. He's not letting his God go. So we're doing the tour, the 3 of us. So that's how the Mfalme tour happened, and all the cash that was to come was split between the 3 of us.
No way.
Yes. It was split between me, Tibbs, and John Mfalme.
That's what I was wrong.
It is... I mean, I get where they're coming from.
But contractually it was wrong. But actually you hadn't signed a contract.
I hadn't signed any contract.
So
it was there. We hadn't signed the contracts for the tour. It was for the competition.
Yes, I get it.
There you go. Yes.
But they couldn't not have you in it.
Again, it was a problem for them also. But they maneuvered it well.
Yeah.
They maneuvered it well. That was one. The second dilemma was, now this show was to be known as the Mfalme show on Homeboys on Friday nights, sponsored by Pilsner. But now we can't have a Mfalme show playing gospel, sponsored by Pilsner. So it was a huge situation that they were in. And I remember they said, since we can't have this show, then we're going to write you a check for this. Because you can't, and it's part of the things that we said that you're going to win. Yes. Menishika.